We have special guests here today. My friends, Tim, George, and Kenny. Hi, I'm Tanya Nicholas, and I'll be talking today about radiation protection. So the next slide will show what people think about radiation protection. Caution, radiation, this scares me. So I'm going to give you a scenario since most of you are all in radiology. So you are a technician and you're going to get an order for a chest x-ray on a 3-month-old. You go out to the lobby, you get the patient, you bring him back and you go over the history with the patient, with the mom, and you do the history and you verify the information, you explain the procedure to the mom, and you say, okay, we're going to get started, and you lay him down on the table, and then she says, wait a minute, I have a question before we get started. Who would think, what do you think the question is going to be? That's right. The question is going to be, is this x-ray safe? So I'm hoping today that after you learn a little bit about radiation that you can answer this question. And we're going to trying to inform you on some ways that you can help the mom be relieved that yes, x-rays are safe if they're handled properly by the right personnel. Okay, so first of all, I will need to go over a couple of types of radiation real quick. We have the natural background radiation source, and it consists of cosmic. And cosmic is basically the sun and the stars, and it's the Earth's atmosphere. And it's approximately 5% of your radiation exposure, and it also depends on where you are on Earth. Then your next one is your terrestrial, and that is your soil and your water and your vegetation. It's approximately 3% of your radiation source. And it also, again, it's determined by where you are on Earth. And then your internal radiation, you have potassium and carbon and lead. Those are all isotopes that are inside your body that live in your body. And that makes up about 5% of the radiation. And then the biggest one is the radon, and that's about 37%. And it's basically, it's a tasteless, colorless, odorless gas that's it's a breakdown of uranium from the soil and the rocks that we live. And so it's in the water that you drink, the air that you breathe indoors and outdoors, and that's about 37%. So, and then your second one is your man-made. Each one of them, if you can go ahead and look at the next slide, it's 50%, basically 50%. So the man-made is down here and the natural is up there. And it breaks it down. Your man-made are your medical procedures, such as your diagnostic x-rays, nuclear medicine, radiation therapy, and also, you know, things like the airport, building materials, smoke detectors. Those are all man-made. So the total for both, if you want to look at the next slide, it is 10,000 milligrams is how it's calculated per year, and that is considered like a low dose range. Your natural, you're already getting at 300 milligrams per year, and the chest x-ray is calculated at about 10 milligrams per year. So we'll go ahead to the next one. So how can we raise awareness to this? There's a campaign. To date, all of you professionals have gone on and signed the pledge. And as to date, there's 15,798 employees that's gone on and signed this pledge. That we know that we're a vital role in this. That we are here to help the patient the best we can to produce the lowest amount of radiation. So basically, the campaign here is more is not better. So you want to lower your KV and your MA to use child-sized portions. Don't be afraid to ask your radiologist, can we downsize this protocol? I mean, we can probably get by with a little bit less dosage. Can we do that? And so we're going ahead and move to the next one. And some other things to minimize, like I've already said, the child size. Make sure that your order makes sense. And I know you guys all do a great job at that. And if it doesn't make sense, don't be afraid to question it. And then only image the area that you have interest in. Avoid multiple scans. And then if you can do this, do an ultrasound or MRI that is non-radiation if at all possible. So we'll go on to the next one. Oh, and that's it. So basically, in conclusion, so we have 2 radiation sources. We have natural and man-made. The biggest question, the biggest concern is this going to give my kid cancer? And there's no conclusive evidence that it will give you cancer, but we need to assume that it does and use the lowest amount of possible radiation possible. And I think Children's Hospital does a really good job at that. And again, that we are all made the pledge that we're going to do the best we can with the radiation and lower and minimize the radiation dose as much as possible. So use the child size techniques, column 8, and make sure that the order is beneficial. And I hope this answers any questions. And when you do have that question again, which you're going to have probably very soon, then you can, hopefully this will help you be confident to know that you are doing the best thing for this patient. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us. Yes. Did you get everybody? All our friends? Thank you very much.